I'm Damian Woetzel, director of the Aspen Institute Arts Programs, and welcome. Jill. So this is a conversation in words and movement with someone who speaks beautifully in both ways. I'm talking, of course, about the Harman-Eisner Artist in Residence for this year, Lil Buck. Charles Riley. Woo! So, Lil Buck has had a crazy, I think that's the word you might use, crazy life and career, and it's indicative of that today, if you happen to get the New York Times, he's on the front page of the Arts and Leisure section in a ginormous picture posing on a wall. And it's because he's at the epicenter of what I could only call actually a movement, where he's taking his art form and he's putting it to use in every different way you can imagine, whether it's on the stage, or in a classroom, or just out on the lawn talking to people.
Or in the grocery store.
Or the grocery store. The other day when he arrived here, we were texting each other, and I said, "Where are you?" And he said, "Oh, I'm just out on the lawn dancing." And that tells you a lot right there. So Buck, welcome. Thank you.
It's great to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming.
We're going to talk a little bit about your life and career and your hopes and dreams and how it all happens. But, you know, I thought we'd start at the base, which is that you're in your heart and soul a dancer.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
So will you share a little of that with us right off the bat?
Yeah, well, I've been dancing for quite a while since I can remember. Actually, I've been moving around bouncing around like a little fireball. But I've been dancing for a long time, but I really took it serious when I was 12 years old. I saw my sister in the living room actually, getting down, and she really got me into it because she was doing this style of dance I'd never seen. I was a big fan of Michael Jackson for a long time, but seeing my sister do it was like, oh, okay, made me want to do it. She inspired me. So.
And what type of dancing was that?
Memphis Jookin. So Memphis Jookin is a style that's native to Memphis, and it's been around for a long time, but a lot of people haven't heard about it because it's been underground for so long.
So we made, I was introduced to Memphis Jookin by being introduced to Lil Buck. And the work that we did along the way kind of has brought out a lot of different aspects, but at its base, I was always curious, how can we explain what Jookin is? And the best way to explain it, we decided, was through a dance. So we created a little dance where he kind of takes you through the basics of what Jookin is.
Yes, because Jookin has Jookin is its own thing, right? But it also has different styles within it, so people can express their creativity within that dance in a different way, in all types of ways. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share
that. And we'll
those
talk
different
about
styles.
what that is, but just for the sake of comparison, because what you're looking at here are two dancers, and I'm a ballet dancer, and he's a Jookin dancer, but we always try and extend ourselves into different areas. But if you think about the three styles that he's going to show you of Jookin, we've got in ballet, perhaps we've got adagio work, or petit allegro work, or grand allegro work, and how that influences what goes on. And we're going to see Jookin.
You're gonna see Jookin, you're gonna see bucking, and you're gonna see chopping.
All right, so joining us, we have some wonderful special musical guests. And first of all, I'd like to introduce Bobby McDuffie, great violinist.
Great violinist.
Who's going to be playing a Bach partita, a section of Bach partita, in this little piece which we titled Partita. So let's just get on with it. Conversation in words and movement. hard to tell. So that was a primer. We've got, Bobby, stay with us for 1 sec. Okay. Don't go. So we broke it down a little bit, but it's still a dance. To me, it's like a little kind of a template. I was wondering, so can we just make sure that they all got it?
Yeah.
All right.
As you can see, I'm a big sweater. And that was kind of a lot, so bear with me. But yes, the first little section you saw was actually Jookin.
And what does that mean? So that's the little buck jump. Yeah,
you saw a lot of the history in it. You saw the buck jump, which is one of our moves we do to really build us up and get us hyped to go into our own creativity.
Can we hear that? Let's slow down there. Can we just get just a little phrase? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on it?
Yep.
Okay.
So as you're saying, that's what we do to build ourselves up to get into the next level. Like a b-boy or a breakdancer has a top rock before they do everything on the floor. In that same way.
Excellent. And then?
Then we have chopping. And chopping is one of my favorites actually, but chopping is really fun. It's just chopping up the beat. All you want to keep the musicality at the same time, but what you really hear in your head is chop, 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 chop.
Let's try a little of that.
Okay, right on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just did.
Yeah. And. Perfect.
So that was chopping.
Woo!
Don't you just love the altitude up here?
I was in your place once.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago, right here.
Yeah, so the last one is bucking. And bucking is what I'm really known for. That's the name, Lil Buck. And it's basically the more explosive moves. Everything that's eye-catching and appealing to a crowd.
Okay.
All right. So, Bobby, that's your first collaboration with Lil Buck. What do you think?
My first collaboration, my wife and my mother want a photo. That was cool, incredibly cool. I just, sometimes it's tough. I'm starting to work with dancers more. I just played a Philip Glass piece with Hamburg Ballet, and now playing this with you, I mean, it's hard to concentrate on making music. So,
You made music together, so thank you so much for doing this with us.
such a privilege, a real privilege. Good luck.
Okay, so we're going to go sit and talk about this a little bit and let Buck decompress, as it were. I'll hand you that one. I don't know which one's which, but that's it. So you told us the kind of the little précis for a minute there. You saw your sister in the living room. You had always been dancing, and you thought MJ was it. And then you said, "Wait a minute, there's something more here." And had your sister was this formal training? Is this just dance that bubbled up? What are we talking about here?
100% informal. It was just raw emotion, and she actually learned it from one of her classmates in school.
I see. So it's passed along.
Yes.
And you and I have talked a lot about how Jookin got started, but then we also have been talking a lot about how other cities have their dances of various kinds. Like in Detroit, we visited recently for a project working on arts education and how arts can be a revival in Detroit. Part of it, but along the way, we decided we were going to discover a little bit about the indigenous street dance of Detroit, and we met a great guy who demonstrated the Detroit Jit to us.
Yeah, I love it. It's a really fun dance style.
And that bubbled up, not dissimilarly, what he said, like 30 to 40 years ago, started developing in various ways. And the same thing with Jookin, and there's other city forms. And we're working on a project right now. It's going to be a show based on all of those forms. And as you can tell, Buck is sort of a medium. He understands music. He understands language. Some of you may have seen him working with our other artist in residence, Alfre Woodard, at the opening with spoken word. And his responses are so meaningful that we're going to explore the response to all these indigenous dance forms that go along, including maybe even some ballet here and there.
Yeah,
We've done
maybe.
that. We'll talk about that. But maybe give them a sample. Will you show the JIT for a second? The JIT move?
Well, I can try as much as possible. I'm not a master jitter at all. I'm not.
Just give it the 2-second
Yeah,
version.
but
that you
okay.
showed me.
So from what I know and from what I've seen, it's a lot of like old school, back in the Vogue days, hands with this amazing hip rotation, and the music is kind of like. So he just hit kind of like that, I think. Hopefully I was close.
So it's subtle differences, but they're real differences. So even like when you started talking about the hip rotation, I think everybody started realizing that there's something that develops. It's more club dancing in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's a technique to the feet and legs, so it's a
There
different
is.
emphasis.
It's amazing. And the guy we know, he's actually a b-boy as well, a breakdancer, and he was incorporating like different moves from breakdancing into that style, and he just developed his own style within that too.
I just love the idea of that, and it's like an exploration of how dances begin. I think I told you this. You haven't met Elliot Feld, but he's one of the great choreographers living in New York, and he once referred it to me as in ballet we have, like in Swan Lake or in Sleeping Beauty, you have peasant dances. You know, it's like the Chardash and these national dances that become part of the divertissement. Well, these are the new peasant dances. They're the ones that are bubbling up and become part of the vernacular. And what's so fascinating is that as time has gone on, and Buck, you're really an avatar of this, it's that they're being picked up by what one might call the mainstream. Whether it's the ballet world. Lil Buck, you may know, just performed 7 performances with New York City Ballet as a guest artist, which is an incredible thing, And it doesn't come from nowhere, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So let's continue with your path. So It's informal. You're on the street.
Yep.
I made a choice not to show video today because we got the real thing. But I encourage you to go to YouTube and look up some videos. And one in particular, write this down, Choppin' Like That.
That's my first actual YouTube video that I put online, actually.
It's 2007, so it's 7 years ago, and he's on his way home from school. He's got like a backpack.
Still have my backpack and books in my backpack.
And he's with his friends, and they're still his friends. One of them, Young Jay, that's his
Yeah,
son,
one of my
right?
best friends. We call him Young Jay. He's actually my manager now, and he's an awesome manager. But he's an artist as well, and he has music. And back then, his album came out. You know, it went on iTunes, and he wanted to do like a little demo video for it. So as soon as I came home, he was like, "Hey, Buck." He already had it ready, and he was like, "Hey, I want you to do a quick, dance to my song." His song was like almost 4 minutes long, and I was like, "Okay, cool, let's do it." I had my backpack still on and everything, and he just played the music straight, literally from his car.
He's on the porch of a house. He moves out into the street. He dances with a car. It is genius.
Yeah, so I worked my way from the porch to the car lot where he parks his car, and I find my way to I make my way over his car door, over the top of it, and then I work my way into the streets where I ended.
Yeah, and it's really something. So Choppin' Like That will give you an idea of how this developed as a technique in a way. Literally, this one, it's on the street. And his friends are screaming, "You can't do that on asphalt," but he can.
Like it's concrete, and I'm spinning on my knees.
That's right. Yeah, it's concrete. So that was, the formative part. But then there were some changes, and we talked a little bit about this in the arts education panel, if you were here yesterday, where you changed schools and life got different.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I went from a public school to a visual and performing arts school during my high school, during that transition to high school, and yeah, we had an actual dance program in the high school, and you can actually get credited for it. So it was awesome. I got credit for taking the hip hop class, and so yeah, they taught hip hop at this school, and I got into it, mostly because there was a lot of girls on the team, but I also wanted to learn how to do hip hop more because I was just a freestyler. I was just like a wild horse roaming, and I needed to have some foundation in hip hop, so I wanted to learn hip hop there, and that's where we learned hip hop. And eventually, the hip hop instructor sought out ballet classes for us to help strengthen our core more, and then that's when I transitioned to ballet, and we've been working with the artistic director, Katie Smythe of New Ballet Ensemble.
This is in Memphis, Tennessee.
And that's in Memphis, Tennessee, by the way, where I got into ballet. This is when I was around 17 years old, and she saw us rehearsing in one of her rooms one day, and she saw me doing all these crazy steps and moves with my feet, and I was just jooking. I was doing like the gangster walk and all these, all this crazy stuff, and all she saw was like first position, fifth position, plie, and she just couldn't believe it, and she was just in awe, and she saw a lot more there, So she actually approached me with offered me a scholarship to take ballet at her school. So I got into it because I have an open mind, and she said I didn't have to wear tights during class. So,
so sometimes, you got to make the frame work, right? You got to make the frame work. And, I look back on that for you, and I know Katie now a little bit, and yes. I picture kind of the openness that I see in you all the time with the collaborations, whether it's with Bobby McDuffie, who you just met literally outside, and you come in and you're able to have a conversation through the art form. You were already doing that at that point.
Yes, you learn more. I mean, the more people you collaborate with, the more you learn about different, artistic visions and other people's way of seeing things and how they see what you interpret, and vice versa,
Well, you're getting a sense of this. So this is not a didactic, it has to be. It's about what might it be. And that's really what I've been lucky enough to have done all this work that we've done the last couple of years. But let's just keep it on technique for 1 second. So you mentioned gangsta walk, and when in the Jookin, you've thrown that out a little bit. That's the bass?
Well, everything came from that. It was that line dance. That's what it was. That's what it looks like. It's kind of a confident strut, and it's line dance. And it was. Can I go back a little bit before the gangsta walk just to lead on into it?
Yes.
So the actual dance itself was born from Memphis underground rap music. So we had different back in like the mid '80s, in the mid '80s towards the late '80s. Memphis underground rap has a distinctive sound about it. They have like this deep bass and these hi-hats that just like make you go crazy when you hear it and make you move a certain way. Like when you hear this music, it does sound like it's out of like the basement. They recorded it straight out of the basement, but it really makes you move a certain way when you listen to it. Just the instrumentals, you bounce a certain way. So that's where the dance was born from. People back in, and this is before I was born. This is before my time, but from what I know from the OGs back in the day, it started from the bounce, and then people was just like, they just started to move with it.
We need a little music. Can we get the gangsta walk track?
Yeah, but it started from the bounce, and then people just started moving to it, and it was just how they felt. It was just the music made them move that way. So this is not a really old school track. It's more of a new, but it started with this bounce. This is where it all started from. Feeling the music.
This is how the gangsters walk. Go gangster walk. Gangsta 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 walk.
But yeah. So that's the origins, but yeah, so that's where gangsta walking came from. It came from that bounce.
That is so great. It's just beyond great. It's just, okay, so we've talked about this. You gonna help me?
Yeah.
All right, Arthur. Can we bring up Arthur Bloom, great pianist and founder of MusiCore? You may have seen Arthur last year at the Ideas Festival when he brought Lance Corporal Tim Donnelly, and they performed with Yo-Yo Ma and Camille Zamora, and Arthur's going to help us out with some music today. Arthur, give us a little rendition of Gangsta Walk, because Lil Buck's been threatening to teach me how to do this.
That's right. Who wants to see Mr. Woetzel get down? You've been waiting for this, right?
We're going to go with mics? We got to do mics? Okay.
So,
am I on the right side? Which way, going to go left first?
We're going to go left first. So you want to just go straight into it?
I'm ready.
You
I
ready?
know what I'm doing. Well, I think. Well, give me the two gangster walk first.
All right, let's do it. You ready?
Bouncing.
So it's the gangster walk. Feel the music?
I'm feeling it.
6, 5, 6, 7, go.
Bounce and bounce and bounce, bounce and bounce.
Put in your shoulders a little more.
Like this. When you're putting your arms back.
Yeah, make some noise for Damian, y'all.
We're gonna do the ballet in a little while, so bear with me. Okay, so then there's something else there. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so we have basic foundation for gangster walk, right? And that was the gangster walk. So with the gangster walk, we also have a
Turnout.
it's a turnout.
It is a turnout, right? But
Yeah,
both.
it's a big turnout.
Okay, I can turn out. All right. Okay, good. All right, then what?
So so yeah, we're gonna do that 4 times, and
We
then
got 4 times, and then
yeah, and then we're gonna do another. This is another move that's a part of the foundation. It's called the L step. We call it the L step because it looks like almost you're making an L shape, like you're dotting an L. So you're gonna do the point of an L,
boom, boom, boom.
and then you're gonna cross back over.
Okay.
So it's really like heel, toe, cross behind, and you do like a kind of a deep plie, and then you come back up. Boom.
You're speaking my language now.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So doom, 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 doom.
Yep.
Okay, I'm there. So we do the gangster walk 4 times, then we
So
do
that
that.
was the L step. Yep, the gangster
Okay.
walk into the L step. So you want to just try it real
Let's
quick?
do that one more time. Yeah, Arthur, bring it on in.
All right, cool. Get your bounce first.
Oh yeah.
On your shoulders. Make sure. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. That's better. That's better. That's much better. All right, so you ready?
Good.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4. That quick. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
I was almost there.
Yo, this guy's like a sponge right now. I want to have some fun with him.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, we're good.
we
So
did
that was
doom,
the L
doom.
step.
Yeah, you're there,
Heel,
you're straight,
toe.
you're down, you're up. Okay,
Yep.
we're good. Then what happens?
So after that, let's do something fun. You're gonna do a spin
I'm there for that.
or 2
Okay.
if you're up for 2.
I can, yes, maybe.
And it's going to be
possibly.
it's going to be a slow 2, not too slow, but slow enough to catch the beat
We're
right
gonna
after.
linger?
Yes, we're going to linger in
All
there.
right, I'm ready. Which
So-
which direction, or does it matter?
We're going to go to the right.
Okay, like right.
I mean, well, with the right, on the right.
Oh, okay.
Leg.
En dedans.
On they don't.
En dedans.
Yeah, boom. Because we're going to hit the buck jump
I
right
saw
after that.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Cool.
Okay, so what do you do with your arms on the spin?
So, your arms are pretty free. You can
Good.
you can float them, or you can just have them up. Oh, nice. Or you can just have them in the air, hanging. If you want to, any position that help you with your balance, basically.
Okay, I'm good.
So we're gonna go from the L step to the spin, down to the buck jump. So you're gonna, as soon as you come out that spin, you're gonna.
I'm right into the buck,
engage
and I know the buck.
Right to the right leg. Right, left, right.
Left, and then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe that's it.
Okay, you want to stop
Is
right
there
there?
more?
There's more.
No.
There's one more part.
Okay, I'll take the next
You up
part.
for it?
Yes, I'm
okay,
ready.
so right after the buck jump, 1, 2, 3, 4. What I want you to do is, okay, this is fun. I want you to you're gonna slide actually this way.
Okay.
So you're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, and
Now?
then you're gonna put this right foot in front and slide. You're gonna use your hips to turk your body. This guy is a natural. Look at him.
In sort of. Okay.
Awesome. And we're gonna cross each other.
So I've done this,
So you're gonna go in front of me. I'm gonna go behind you.
and this, and forward, and back slide, forward, and back slide. I'm
Yeah.
ready. Music!
There we go. You ready? Let's go. So start with the bounce.
Bounce, bounce, bounce. You give me the 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Okay.
Yeah. You can give it to
'Cause I don't know. I'll
Make
just
sure
keep
it's in your
doing this all
shoulders now.
day.
Don't forget. Really feel it in your shoulders. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Gangster. Walk. L step. Float. 1, 2, 3, 4, and slide. Yeah!
Pretty fun. All right. That was fun. Thanks,
That was
Arthur.
fun.
Excellent. All right, we're going to come back to the chairs for a minute.
Jookin 101, all right.
Jookin 101. I love the spin, man. It's really good. Okay.
Yeah, you got some good hang time up there.
I'm trying for the hang time, but the arm was the thing, if you can manage that. That's not bad. Okay, we're good. So that's the base, so the gangster walk.
It is.
That was so cool when you were just walking, just to walk. And then ballet, right? How does this all come together? Because clearly I'm a natural not. Trying hard to not be awkward.
You feel it, right?
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
it.
Jookin is really a cardio. It's
a cardio
yeah, it's really
activity.
a cardio activity.
Excellent.
But
You know what? Let's just switch for 1 second. So here's the thing. So that was extremely active. It had a lot of beat to it. We were bouncing from the beginning. But I have to say, the first thing that I ever saw you do, first of all, I have to full acknowledgments. Heather Watts, my wife, is the one who saw Lil Buck online. And she said, quite literally, you've got to get over here and see this. And brought me over to a video that she was watching on Facebook of Lil Buck dancing. Sure. Yeah.
well, from what I know, they saw this video of me when dancing to the Swan, and this is when I was still a part of the company for New Ballet Ensemble. Because this is when I went from taking ballet classes to actually being a company member for the ballet. And so we did this show in Arkansas for these kids, and it was just like to bring extra motivation to the kids. We did the Peter and the Wolf act, and then she let me show them some Jookin, but on the way there, she wanted to do something different. She asked me, she put in this CD and said, I want you to do your own thing, of course, but I want you to try to like some different music because I know you like to dance to all kinds of music. So
she here is Katie Smythe.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Katie Smythe, artistic director, of course. Yeah, I drove with her on the way to the show, and she put in this CD, and it was the Carnival of Animals. It was the Swan, and I listened to it, and I was like, okay, this is nice. I love it. I like the string. I like the strings. I love it. And so I was like, okay, cool. So
something here. There's no beat. Yeah, it's
really no beat.
But
it's just
no beat
straight
here.
strings and just beautiful.
It's this. And that's what, in a sense, the first thing I ever saw you do. And it had, for lack of, a less kind of prosaic word, soul. And it wasn't about impressing. It was about something else, the other world.
Yeah, it was just about being in tune with the music and just taking that time to be a vessel for sound.
Right. And that's, in a way, I think, obviously it's a direct result of your exposure to being in the New Ballet Ensemble, but it's also bridging those worlds of sound, but also of a serenity, I guess, that maybe is very intrinsic to, like the first time you were in a ballet class and you stood in your first position not wearing tights, and, you did a plie, and it just had a different type of solemnity.
Yeah, the contrast was totally crazy because, in Jookin, I start off really learning this hard bounce, and really to this.
Don't get a chance for that other
really
thing.
To this hard music, but taking ballet, we start off learning how to really embrace our elegance.
Exactly.
So.
Well, something that Buck and I have done, and I know some of you have done because you've been a part of things that I've been doing here, is try and make sure that everybody understands that completely. So we're going to ask you to join us, and Buck is actually going to teach you Balanchine Serenade right now. So to help us do that, we're going to ask Lucy Tico from the Aspen Music Festival and School on cello to join us. But this involves you, so everybody please stand up. So this is a ballet choreographed by George Balanchine, the founder of the New York City Ballet, great Russian-born choreographer, for his students. So you are all now students of Balanchine, but you're also students of Lil Buck right now. So, Buck, you want to take them through this? We'll do it together?
Okay,
Okay.
Cool.
So the first thing you do?
The first thing you do is you're going to visualize this sun, this amazing, just really bright sun in your face, and you're kind of trying to block that sun because it's so hot outside.
We're going to actually, let's have them do the right hand.
Yeah.
And we'll do the left facing them.
Absolutely.
So you just do like we're the mirror.
So the right hand is up, and we're going to mirror you. And you're blocking this sun right here. It's in your eye, and you're just blocking the sunlight from your eye. And you're going to hold it up there for
You're going to hold it up there for a full 8 counts,
Full 8
which we'll
counts.
tell you. And then?
And then you want to slowly bring their hand down to your head.
I always
Back
say
to
it's a
the
little like you're getting a headache from the sun.
Yeah, like you're getting a headache from the sun.
So you look over to the other side, like that. There you go.
And you want to go from here. You want to take your hand and put it right under your heart. Now what you want to do is you want to put your arms straight down.
You're transitioning
You're
into ballet
transitioning.
dancers right now.
Exactly.
Don't be frightened.
And after this step right here, after this move, what you want to do is you want to, in one motion, go into first.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Very good. And
So-
you're almost done.
In first position is just like your feet apart, basically.
Yeah, so what's important there, in a way, we always tell people is, to do that, that means you have to be this way first.
Yes. So your feet are forward first.
You're saying this way.
You don't wanna start
and then you have
turning out.
somewhere to go. If you're already here, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, okay.
And let your little buck, you
So,
can go
and then you can go
even further.
further. So then you're there,
So yeah, then you're here.
and now we're going to finish it.
And now we're going to finish it. You guys are going to step out to your right. We're going to do our lefts, mirroring you guys. Your hands are going to come up.
Close.
You want to close it. To bring them up and prepare to dance. Yes, now you are all the dancers.
So, excellent. So stay where you are. We'll walk you through it quickly, and then we're going to have a rehearsal and then a performance.
Yeah,
This is how
y'all
it
not
happens.
getting off that easy.
It does. It's not all magic. It's work. So,
Collaboration.
collaboration. Son,
Son, you're getting this headache, just slowly getting this headache, slowly. Bring it down to your heart. You're transitioning into ballet dancers. And you're going to go into a quick verse. Get out, right leg out, arms up. Fully extended. You want to bring them in. Arms up and prepare to dance. Beautiful.
excellent. Okay, now, can we take it from curtain? So that midway part. So I'm going to tell them curtain, and Lucy's going to lead us in. And what that means is that the curtain's about to go up, so you need to take your places. So, are we ready? Okay, let's take our places, and curtain. Just hold your position. Beautifully done, guys. Okay, now hold it for 1 second.
Amazing.
So we're going to now do it like you would do it in the company. If you're joining the New York City Ballet, you'd have your costume on.
This is
the
your big break
overture
right
would
here.
begin,
This is the moment of truth.
and this is it. But I want you to absorb what now. Just before you do it, think about what we were talking about. That there's this special space that you get to have, right? And
Yes, absolutely.
it's a special space, and I wish I could have felt what you felt coming from an obviously talented, I'm a talented dancer, I have all this stuff, and then one day there's just another world that's just, it's church.
Yeah, it
essentially.
is. It's just, it's like this vacation, if you will, or this like blissfulness that you just want to jump into all the time.
Right.
That's how it is for me. It's like the Wonka factory for me.
So, welcome to our Wonka factory. Arthur and Lucy, would you take it from the beginning? So I just want you to stand and listen to the music, the beautiful Tchaikovsky Serenade for Strings. And when I say curtain, I'll give you your warning, just like a stage manager would. Stage manager would come out and say, warning on the curtain, and you'd know, I better have my leg warmers off so that I'm ready, and you take your positions. All right, so here we go. Okay, so now you know what that feels like. And hang on to that. Arthur and Lucy, we're going to have you back in a few minutes. Lil Buck and I are going to talk a little more. So that's a transitional moment, if ever there was one.
Feels like a breath of fresh air.
It is. It's a luxury. It's a luxury. And I picture you at that point absorbing all of this, and it's such a harbinger of things to come, that all these different styles are going to start entering your life, and different people. So why don't we do a little kind of fast chronology of what happened to Lil Buck from then on. So you were at New Ballet.
Yeah, so I was at New Ballet from, I was there as a company member from the age 17 until the age 19.
And I think it's worth noting that what Buck just explained, that he first danced the Swan at a school. So he was a part of things working in arts education already. Again, a harbinger of things to come. So anyway, so you're doing all that, and then what happens, you think?
I'm going to try to cut this as short as possible. But yes, so actually, before I made my transition from Memphis to LA, which I moved to LA from Memphis when I was 19 years old, I got flown out for a music video from someone in LA who's seen one of my first YouTube video, actually, that Damian told you guys about. And they had this local artist out there they were working with, so they wanted to have me for my video, and I agreed if they brought my cousin with me to do it with me, because he's a jooker too I've been working with. And so they agreed, and we went out there, and that was my first time flying and going to LA and just leaving Memphis. And I just saw all the opportunity out there, all of the palm trees and all of the girls and just everything. But I was only out there for 3 days, and then I made it, when we came back home, we made it our mission to try to get back out there and just try to really expand this dance and, really get it out there to the mainstream. So I made 2 friends on set for the music video. And this was back when we didn't have much money at all, And so when I was 19, I'm talking to these guys over, over like a year. And one day he's just like, man, look, I believe in your style so much. I just want you to come out here and I want to help you make it, man. And I didn't have enough money for a plane ticket to get out there, but then they offered to give me like a one-way ticket. And one of my friends said I can stay with him and his fiance. And she was actually the sweetest woman in the world, by the way. But he said I could stay with him and his fiance if I taught him how to dance every morning. If I taught him some beginner jooking every morning. So that was an easy trade-off. And I didn't have any major responsibilities back at home, no kids. I didn't have any job or anything like that. So I just made the move. And Mom gave me $20 and sent me on my way. So I started over in LA, just working throughout dance studios and just working with different just doing different auditions. And the lady who actually had that company that flew me out there for the music video found out I was there, so she helped me get an agent. And then I started getting into like auditions, and my style of dance really stood out like a sore thumb, because like they're really used to seeing a lot of break dancers and poppers and dancers like that.
And very specific again. I mean, LA's got crumping, and so they understood
crumping.
that. But this was another thing.
Yeah, this was
he's like, he was on the Ellen Show. He he was doing some stuff.
Yeah, so I did a few things when I was in LA. Been on the Ellen Show. I've been blessed to be on the Ellen Show 3 times. She's a wonderful person, and I've done a lot. That's when I met Yo-Yo Ma. And
well, let's jump to that time, because this is now almost 4 years ago when Heather saw you on the Facebook video.
Yep.
And we started trying to find you. We found Miss Katie first, Katie Smythe, and she said, "Oh, here's how you can find him." And I ended up Facebook messaging him. Writing him on Facebook, and I said, I've got this idea. I know you don't know who I am, but Katie said I should write you. I work with Yo-Yo Ma, and we're going to be in LA. Maybe we can get together and do something together. And I think I proposed 2 things for you. I still have it, because they save those messages forever.
Yeah.
And
the Inner City Arts.
Yeah, NSA is checking it out. It's all there. And I say, would you want to do this? And also in June, we've got a show in Central Park. And he wrote back and he said yes. And I wrote back and I said, yes, which? And he said, yes, both. I went out there, and Yo-Yo and I were doing what we call an art strike, which some of you heard about last year when Yo-Yo was here, which is a targeted intervention in a school or a health community setting where arts can make a difference. It's usually visiting artists that have a limited amount of time, and you go and you try and make a big impact. So we were in LA, Yo-Yo was performing at Disney Hall, and we decided to do one of these things on Skid Row in downtown LA. And so I called up Lil Buck and I said, okay, this is real, this is happening. I'm gonna come pick you up. I went to your apartment and I got you, and I brought you down to Disney Hall to meet Yo-Yo. And
it was amazing because it was funny meeting Yo-Yo, It wasn't your typical, meet, hi, how are you? I met him. He saw me. He gave me a hug, looked at me, and said, "You're Lil Buck," and I was like, "Yeah, it's nice to meet you." He's like, "Oh, it's great to meet you." And then I think all I remember after that is him telling me, "I want to try something," and then he just opened up his cello case, and just without even warning, he just started playing, and then I just went into dance, and like Damian was there, and
so it all kind of
everybody
came
was there,
true.
and we just-
is what happened.
Yeah,
Sometimes life exceeds dreams. And right there backstage at Disney Hall, Yo-Yo pulled out his cello, played the Swan, Lil Buck danced, and we all just kind of cried and
made
said,
magic.
"This is just great." And he said, "Okay, so we'll see you in the school tomorrow." And I remember I got you to the school, and then the second kind of miracle happened, which is we watched Yo-Yo and I kind of with our jaws dropped as he just basically started working with the kids.
Yeah,
We didn't know anything about all that had gone on in Memphis, and that this was something in your past. And suddenly he was there teaching like me, but the little kids, and talking to them and making a line across the stage, and to the point where I said, "Okay, we're good. We'll leave Buck there. Yo-Yo, let's go to the art class." And Yo-Yo and I went, and we worked with some painters and stuff, and then we met back up and did the Swan and some other dances with great musicians who we still work with all the time. And
it was amazing. We left a real impact there at Inner City Arts. The kids still remember that day to this day, and I still remember that day. And the kids, I
we've
still
been
keep
back.
in
We
contact
go
with
back
some of them.
periodically. Alfred joined us in one art strike there 2 years ago, or just last year. And I guess the kicker, which if you read the New York Times story, you'll read about, or maybe already. Later that day, Yo-Yo and I, who were both members of the President's Committee on Arts, along with Alfred, and we had what was an information session, essentially in Beverly Hills at the home of Brian Lord, another committee member, for the Hollywood community about arts education initiatives that we were pushing. And Yo-Yo and I, you can imagine where this is going. We were like, well, obviously we should bring Lil Buck and show them what we did today. And that's what happened in a space much smaller than this. And Spike Jonze, the movie director, was there, filmed it on his iPhone, and a couple million YouTubes later, here we are. It's... and life changed pretty fast, right?
Yeah, pretty fast after that.
Yeah. Madonna,
Yeah, I went on tour with Madonna. You know. But yeah, she picked me. I was her #1 pick for the tour, and that was a big blessing. She think I'm like one of the best dancers. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was a world tour. We went all over the world, so I was blessed enough to get to travel the world. But more than that, I was blessed enough to be able to share my, share my form of art with people all around the world. And she's such a giver because she took us to like different places to dance for kids and just do like charity things. And we performed for kids in these favelas in Brazil when we were there. And we just got to give back a lot. And I got to like spread a lot of inspiration on the road.
And at that point, you started being, I remember seeing the, kind of as we would follow what you were doing, or then we would periodically be working together, sort of the ambassador of Jookin sort of tag started to happen. It's like taking it to all these different places that had no idea about this other dance form. And then Cirque du Soleil last year.
Yep, last year I was actually, when I got that call when I was doing when I was in New York at YAGP when I did that collaboration with Nina, and right before I hit the stage, I had a voicemail, and it was Jamie King, this choreographer, really big choreographer. He used to dance with Michael, and he worked with Madonna when I was on tour there. So he actually wrote the story about the Michael Jackson 1 show for Cirque du Soleil, and I was just one of the people he thought about. So he left a voicemail on my phone, and I heard it right before I got on stage for YAGP saying, "Hey, we need you for Cirque du Soleil. Call me back. This is Jamie King. It's big opportunity." And I was like, "Oh shoot."
It was really something. It's a big show in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's a wonderful show.
We went out to see it, and we understood the process, which was the show was virtually complete when they called Lil Buck, which is an interesting thing to begin with.
Yeah, they
why
did.
Does that happen? How does that happen? And I know what it was because I saw it, and I imagined it without you, and they put the soul in it. They put the soul in the middle of the show. Suddenly, you felt. What it must have been like to be Michael Jackson dancing, or what you could imagine it, and that's what that gift.
Absolutely.
And he's telling you about charity work in favelas, and all along the way, periodically, we're doing work in schools and working on lots of different projects. He was the artist in residence at my dance festival over in Vail, experimenting essentially, always just again the channel open, just willing to try anything, and that's just.
Yeah, it was amazing. I actually got to collaborate with Tyler Peck, this ballerina who actually learned, just like Damian, Lil Jookin, and it was a lot of fun.
Because the thing is, music was a given in a way. It's like because the Swan gave us the path. It's like we knew he could gangsta walk, and he could relate to Saint-Saëns or Tchaikovsky. And then, so we did a show last year at Poisson Rouge in New York with all different types of music. But then it's about people. Then it's about Tyler Peck or Lauren Lovett at New York City Ballet and how it happens. But I guess, we have some time limitations, so we're going to push through. And I think you can tell one thing. Lil Buck is wildly available.
I am.
So we're going to actually, I think we're going to
Catch me if you can.
probably skip Q&A because we don't have time, because I think you're going to want to see the Swan. I have a feeling. The way it began, as it were. So we're going to ask Arthur and Lucy to join us again. I'm going to do a little stage management here so that we can see this to its fullest extent. And I encourage you to reach out to Lil Buck wherever he happens to be, dancing on the lawn or wherever. And we're almost there. I'm going to get rid of this. You don't need this, right, Luce? Okay, so this is the Swan. Conceived in the car ride on the way to an arts education event going between Memphis and Arkansas. Music of Camille Saint-Saëns. Katie Smythe of New Ballet Ensemble. It's her dream, her idea, and this is Lil Buck's dance. And here it is, the Swan. Bravo! Thank you, guys.
Thank you all so much.
So, you know, I should say that it's incredibly serious, right? Incredibly moving, and it's like so much. And yet, now you know Lil Buck, and you know that there's this full dimension of fun involved. And, you know, when he described going to LA, I always remember, like, so we met on Facebook, right? And then we talked, but then I became Facebook friends, and I'd see what he was up to. And he'd say, he'd write in caps, "Going to the promenade!" Exclamation, exclamation,
That's the
exclamation.
promenade.
That's the promenade in Santa Monica where he'd go and be a busker. And I remember, I mean, Heather was talking about this the other day. You talked about how you learned what to do. You'd learn which stores to go in front of.
Oh yeah,
Where
yeah,
business.
it's really like a business in Santa Monica because there's a lot of buskers out there, and you get like different time slots, and you have to exchange with each other. So there's people waiting on different spots because there's a good spot, like in front of the food court.
And
That was a good one.
so I learned about this, and I learned about what life was like, and it's just an incredible journey, you can imagine, from that, you know, and I'm sure you kind of miss that sometimes in a way, right?
I do. Sometimes when I go back to LA and see my friends, I just go out there in Santa Monica. We don't even bring buckets, you know. We don't even ask for money. We just go out there just for the fun of it because we miss it sometimes.
And he talked about his cousin. His cousin is Ron Miles, known as Prime Time.
Yes.
Having a great career himself, doing lots of collaborations with Buck.
He's actually going to be in Vail.
And he'll be in Vail, and he's going to be working in New York with us in the fall. Incredible spirit. But I saw you and Ron do a little dance, so we might have a little closeout music, and I'll try and approximate your cousin Ron. How's that?
Okay,
Give us
cool.
a little
Let's do it.
that,
Let's
that
try.
Fats Waller stuff.
Okay. I think I know where you're getting with this.
All right, so this is our walkout music. We're over time, but we've got to do what we got to do.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, Bobby. Great job.